technology is also just infiltrating how we contribute to burials, because we do know in communities that sometimes it's not even something that is discussed, right? When you hear so and so, and it's someone that you know has passed on, you want to do something, and sometimes it's what can I do for the family. Now, in the African continent, when someone passes, communities show up with food, presents, prayer, and whatever that they can give. That hasn't changed, but how we give has definitely changed. Africans are finding new ways to support each other through funeral costs, especially as fewer people carry cash, and many families are spread across provinces or even countries. Thulani Ngwenya, founder of AltarPOS, has been working closely with churches and communities in South Africa to make funeral fundraising more accessible without losing the personal, communal spirit that defines Ubuntu. His focus is not on technology for its own sake, but on keeping people connected in times of grief. Traditionally, donations were collected at churches or homes, gathering using cash or collection baskets. But now, communities are turning to digital tools to manage giving in a simpler, safer way. Platforms like AltarPOS allow churches or organizers to set up a digital fundraiser where people can give by scanning a QR code or tapping a device. No need to handle cash. So we do have the founder of AltarPOS on the line. Thank you so much for joining us on Tech Africa.
Good morning, Puleng. Good morning to your listeners. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Thulani. All right, how does it work? So it's a QR code that you will find if you go to a church or where people are gathering, and then you just scan it and you make a payment.
Yes. So it really depends on the functionality, what you want to use it for. So in this instance, when we're speaking about supporting families in their times of grief, what the family would do, whether it's the family or the funeral parlor that is working with the family, that go to the platform and they would create an event. The event is of type funeral, right? So it's what that does is it generates a unique QR code for that specific event. It also has an expiry date. So as you create it, you can indicate that after a week we'll be done with the funeral, therefore the event can expire. So when people then scan that unique QR code, they can then donate to the family to that specific funeral up until the time that it expires.
So, and I'm not being biased when I say this, but it's still effective in today's age. Our elders are the ones that attend most funerals, hey? They're not the ones with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, maybe not the majority, but how easy it is for elderly members, in churches to use this digital giving system.
You'll be surprised in terms of the funeral attendance. So before we went on this journey, we conducted a lot of research. I'm from the villages myself, right? So every now and then I have to attend a funeral in the village, and you'd find all these younger people now with driving all these nice cars that are attending this funeral. So the attendance has changed. But in terms of all the people coping with this thing is if they can use WhatsApp, like most of them already do. I have my grandmother on WhatsApp, my grandfather, my older aunts and uncles, they are all on WhatsApp, right? If you can use WhatsApp, it's as simple as just opening your camera. Basically, if you can take a picture, just opening your camera, pointing it to this thing, and then you take it from there. It's just a few clicks. It's very, very simple.
No, it's true. They are the ones that are on WhatsApp and they love voice notes, Shame. Yeah, they will send you voice notes. Which is saving us from getting please call me's, because before they hopped onto WhatsApp, we were getting please call me's in the morning, during the day, and at night. Now at least they are finishing us with voice notes, which is fine, because sometimes someone will press the voice note and hold it while they're thinking about
Yes.
what they're gonna say. Then 5 minutes
Ah.
later, then they will say what they wanted to say. So you must listen to dead air. All right, Thulani. So you've spoken about balancing technology and Ubuntu. How do you make sure that digital giving still feels personal and communal?
Look, so the platform is not just for giving, right? So when you scan the QR code, there's a space there where you can enter your details and send a very kind message to the recipient. So when the recipient logs into the dashboard on their mobile device and they see all these beautiful messages that people are seeing, and we believe that that is very great sentiment and it makes the connection even bigger, because previously you would just put 5 rands in the basket or the plate that is being rotated, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you wouldn't even get a chance to engage with the people and say, I'm with you in this, etc. But now you are giving a donation, but that is also accompanied by a heartfelt, beautiful message that they receive. So that makes it really personal.
Mm-hmm.
We believe that it also increases the connection and it makes the experience very beautiful. So it's not just giving and disappearing.
We come
Yeah.
from the generation that embraces face to face. You know, they want to be able to physically be there for you. That's why you would find people even traveling for hours because they have to be
Yeah.
there in the times of need. How do you then encourage trust in digital tools like your platform?
All right. So it's basically displaying the security. You need to be uh, transparent. When people log into your platform, they must immediately see that this platform is highly secure through the different security technologies that are popular, that are well known, that are utilized by the many different banks. The things that they see when they do online shopping, etc., etc. So you need to make sure that they trust, and you need to educate people. And we've been doing that through different campaigns. You know, educating people about the security of the platform, building that trust, as you say, for people over time. That's the very important thing. Another element that I think is worth mentioning here is, over and above AltarPOS being a platform just for giving, it's also a platform that is empowering a lot of unemployed people to come in and start their businesses and start earning. So how that works, for instance, is if you live in a township, right, you have the opportunity to work with the funeral parlors to be the one that is running AltarPOS for the different events that are happening. So you're the one that creates the events, that prints the QR codes, etc., etc., and you earn a little commission from that, because a bulk of the money is obviously donated for the family, but there is a little charge for the platform. And from that, as a young person or an unemployed person, you earn a commission. So what that is then accompanied with the opportunity for you, as you engage with different families and the people in the community, you are educating them and you are thereby building the trust for the platform.
And any plans to expand the business from what you're currently doing?
The business has a different elements. So it's not just for funerals and other types of events, right? If you look at informal vendors, for instance, they lose out on a lot of sales because people come and they say, don't you have a card machine? Right. But there's a different component of the platform where if you are a vendor, you don't need a card machine. You can just log in and register, and then you get a unique QR code for your business. So instead of people paying you with a card, they can just scan and pay you for the goods you are selling. So we're expanding to all these different industries where people can utilize it. We are in hospitality. For instance, you go to a hotel and you love the way your room was done and you want to tip the housekeeper. There's QR codes for that to offer that tipping service. You go to a hospital, you are happy with the way the nurses took care of your relative whilst they were at the hospital. There's QR codes to leave a tip for that. So it's applicable in many different industries. I think after we've exhausted a lot of these things within the country, then we will start expanding to the nearest countries. Another feature that I can mention, if you know what PayPal is, you can use AltarPOS as you would use PayPal to receive money internationally. The advantage of AltarPOS is that you don't have to have a bank account to receive your money. The money can be sent to you via e-wallet, cash send, or any other money sending feature. Right, so there's all these different elements where it is applicable.
All right.
Yeah.
That's quite versatile there, Thulani. Thank you so much for talking to us on Tech Africa. And man, I'd like to see this in my village, really. Then what happens? Let's say I've got a funeral then. Do you send me the QR code to print out? And then I can put it behind the chairs? Or is it just one big banner as people enter? And then they can scan the...
It's really up to you. But what we've done with funerals is, you see on all the flyers that will go on, for instance, there will be a flyer that is rotated on WhatsApp. The QR code is already there. On the programs that will be utilized on the day, the obituary, we have the QR code, and then there's a few posters that are also displayed in the venue itself, even in the graveyard, because some people just go straight to the graveyard, they don't go to the venue. So we're also giving them the opportunity to make an offering. And the advantage of this, as I want to mention, is that sometimes people go to funerals without carrying a lot of cash, right? You may find that in the bank account I have 10,000, but in my pockets I have 5 rands. And when they rotate this dish, I just take out what I have in my pocket, but I would have loved to give more. But because I did not have that much cash, then I give a minimum, the little that I have. So this maximizes basically the opportunity for people to contribute and offer and support more at these types of events.
All right, Thulani, thank you once again. But I still have a question though, because I feel like I'm unanswered.
Okay.
So if I want this service, I go to the website and I say, guys, I've got a funeral, or maybe I've got an event and I want people to contribute. Do you guys send me the QR code to print on my programs?
No.
Where do I get it?
No. So what you do is you just register on the site as a creator, basically. Once you register that as a creator, on your dashboard, there is a feature to create events. When you create that event, it generates the QR code for you that you can get, and you can do whatever you want to do with it. Another interesting feature as a value add specifically for funerals, you know, when people go to funerals and now it's time to drive to the graveyards, there's a lot of people that don't know the area and they get lost on the way. So there's a feature on the platform for that, for you to generate QR codes for directions that you can, anybody that's attending the event can just scan the QR code and they can get all the directions to all these different venues. So nobody has to get lost. And that is just a value added feature that is offered for free as part of the platform specifically for these type of events.
Oh, this is very cool.
Yes.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Love it. It is Thulani Ngwenya, founder of AltarPOS, and that's how we end our conversation this morning on our Tech for Good. Thank you to Thulani. All right, I believe Thulani's gone. Remember, you can keep tabs on us on social media at Channel Africa 1 or on WhatsApp +27634069126.
Mornings